IRS letter on a $1,400 stimulus check. Did you get it? I have all the details and exactly what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. I know in this video, I do want to discuss the details of a letter that was sent out from the IRS in regards to a $1,400 stimulus check, as there is $4.7 billion on the table and up for grabs. There's nearly 3 million people that are eligible to receive this, and that is the whole detail behind the letter from the IRS and what I want to bring to your attention right now, because this money is still out there. However, there's a limited time on grabbing it, so therefore, let's get into it and talk through all the details. Really fast before we do, thanks so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe right down below the video. There's that big old button waiting for you down there. Make sure to hit that if you have not done so yet, as I'm here for you right by your side each and every day, doing all the research and breaking it all down into these short videos and pointing out anything out there right now you can possibly grab and or take advantage of, as we all completely recognize the last few years have been very, very confusing, very busy and uncertain, and it's going to continue to be that way for at least the foreseeable future. Therefore, I'm here for you to help you out in any way that I can, pointing out anything you can possibly grab or take advantage of, or anything that may be changing or popping up right now. Again, it's a super busy time. So again, thanks for joining me. Please subscribe down below, and also do your friends, family, and social media a huge favor. Share this video with them in case they happen to be on the list of somebody who can grab some of this $4.7 billion that is sitting there from the IRS right now. We want to grab all of this, because if we don't, guess what? They keep it. Therefore, we probably want to grab it if you happen to be one of the nearly 3 million people on this list, okay? All right. Let me talk you through the details about what's going on here, the letter that has gone out from the IRS, and what this all means, because there's a lot of money here. That is a ton of money, almost $5 billion on the table, according to these reports here, okay? All right, so this what comes down to is the $1,400 stimulus check that we got back in 2021, okay? Now, I get it. That was a few years ago. However, get this. There's still people out there that are eligible to receive this. Now, this report was released, and I want to follow up all the details about this, because if you have not gotten this, you can still get it. However, the time is a ticking, and if you don't grab it, if you don't claim it within this window, guess what happens? You don't get it anymore. They keep it, and it's too late, and sorry for your luck type of situation, okay? So again, I want to point this out, because if this can help anybody out there get some of this money, I certainly want you to get this. All right, so here's what it comes down to. Like I said, this is from the $1,400 check that went out in 2021. However, the IRS sent out a letter. The letter was number 6475. So that's, how the IRS always numbers these letters. It's like tax forms, right? All of these different tax forms have all these different letters and, different numbers and stuff like that. Same situation with this letter. It was number 6475 was the letter that went out to millions of people following up on this $1,400 check, okay? As a result of that, here are the numbers behind it. Like I said, 2.9 million people would be potentially eligible for this. So here's what happened. We have all these people that have either filed a 2021 tax return and did not claim the RRC, Recovery Rebate Credit, or we have all these millions of people out there who are eligible for it that never filed a tax return, because maybe they're not somebody that needs to file a tax return each and every year because their income is such that they don't need to, which, by the way, this is not tax advice. This is not accounting advice. I don't know your situation, but I can give you general information here in this video, okay? Again, maybe you want to talk to somebody that knows your situation. Maybe you want to do some research on this, things like that, but again, this is not tax advice in any way, shape, or form. Just want to throw that out there right away, okay? But here's what it comes down to. If you're somebody that never got the $1,400 stimulus check from 2021, here's what you can do. You can still file, or you can still claim it, okay? But here's what you got to do. At this point, there's no, portal, stuff like that, anything anymore. The only way you can get it now is by filing a 2021 tax return, okay? You can still do that. The best way to do that would be electronically online. You can simply do that. In most cases, it should be free for the vast majority of people, provided your income is below about $73,000 a year, which should be the case for virtually everybody. And again, if your income is above that as an individual, you're probably not eligible anyway for the most part, as there is the phase out and, of course, the income thresholds. But again, I just want to point that out really quickly. But here's what happens. In the event that you need to file a tax return, here's what you got to do. You've got to claim the RRC, Recovery Rebate Credit. Believe it or not, there's a bunch of people that filed tax returns and never claimed the RRC to actually get their $1,400 check from 2021. Okay, so that is the option that you got to do there. Now, if you already file a tax return and you think, uh-oh, I didn't claim the RRC, you can actually file an amendment. It is 1040X is the form that you would need to do that, okay? 1040-X. That is the form that would need to be filed in order to amend a tax return that has already been filed. If you're somebody that generally does not file a tax return and you did not get your $1,400 check, well, there you go. You can file just a simple federal return. And again, you've got to know some basic numbers, your gross income, all kinds of stuff like that. It'll walk you through the details about it. It's pretty self-explanatory as you do it, but you've got to have some numbers in front of you when you go to file that. If your income is zero, then your income is zero. You would still be eligible for it. That was one of the provisions about this, is you could still get it because it was an advance on a refundable tax credit, okay? What that simply means is there's two types of, well, there's a couple different types of credits. There's refundable and non-refundable. Refundable means even if your income is zero, you still get it. If it's a non-refundable tax credit, your income could be zero and you don't get it, okay? But in this case, it is a refundable tax credit. It was an advance on that at the time. In other words, you could have zero income and you still get it, okay? That's pretty cool. Now, let me point out a couple of things really quickly. If you were claimed as a dependent on somebody else's tax return, unfortunately, you wouldn't be eligible for this, okay? That other person who claimed you as a dependent would be the person who gets the $1,400 on your behalf. I know, rough, right? Yeah, that's the case. However, if you happen to have a new dependent in 2021, so let's just say that you started filing somebody as a dependent in 2021 or claiming that person as dependent, or maybe you had a new baby, for example, in 2021, that would be the situation, as in you could now claim this person as a dependent, even if you were somebody who generally does not file a tax return. Guess what? Claiming that person as dependent is now worth $1,400 to you as the person claiming that person as dependent. Kind of makes sense, right? So again, these are the details you need to know about this. And again, that letter went out from the IRS, which is, again, 6475 was the letter that went out. That is the letter number. And again, here are the simple details you've got to know about this. And again, $4.7 billion on the table. Now, how long do you get to file this and to claim it? Generally, you get 3 years, okay? So 3 years from the time the tax return needs to be filed. Remember, 2021 tax returns were filed in early 2022. Therefore, you would have until about 2025 to get this done. But why would you wait? Seriously, why would you wait on this? If this is your situation, if this is your case, if you have not gotten that check, the $1,400, you can still get it, but those are the steps you've got to go through in order to get it. You can wait a couple years if you want to. Well, it's actually not even a couple years. It's like a little bit more than a year, right? As I record this video. Obviously, you could wait if you wanted to, but I don't know why you would want to do that. It wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense. A couple of things I want to point out. When you go to file your online, your tax return electronically, okay? And again, I'm not advising anybody what to do here. I'm just giving general information. This is not advice in any way, shape, or form. However, when you go to file a tax return electronically, if you happen to do that, if there's a way that you can input direct deposit information in there, you would be much better off doing that because you would get the money way faster than waiting for a paper check to come through. That's going to take forever. We all know that, okay? Waiting for anything in the mail and waiting for them to process it, it would take a long time, weeks and weeks, probably even a couple months, okay? But if you could input direct deposit information in there, you'd be way better off and you would get that money much faster, okay? So those are the details you've got to know about it. If you didn't get it, or if you have a new dependent from them, you started claiming somebody as a dependent, you had a new baby in 2021, whatever happens to be, if your income went down from 2020 into 2021, now making you eligible, which by the way, income thresholds in 2021, $75,000 a year as an individual and $150,000 a year as a married couple. You'd be eligible for the $1,400 for you, $1,400 for your spouse, $1,400 per dependent. We could be talking about thousands upon thousands of dollars here for a lot of people. And again, just want to point this out for you if this happens to be your case. Anyway, let me know if you have any further questions on this. I can always come back and elaborate on this further if this happens to be your case. Otherwise, let's continue watching all this stuff very closely. There's a lot of things that are happening right now. Again, the economic situation is pretty ugly. There's not a whole lot of good stuff going on when it comes down to the economy, even though we continue to hear all these talking heads say, oh, the economy is great. Don't worry, everybody. We're out of the woods. We're not going to go into a recession. There's no economic contraction here. Look away, everyone. No problem. We're all good. Really? Okay, whatever. We'll just have to continue watching all this stuff very closely because the details out there are probably being tinkered around with a little bit, okay? The numbers that are being displayed to us, the numbers that are being reported, probably not all that accurate, right? So anyway, I'll bring you the details as I get more information on this. I'm watching all of it very closely. Other than that, all I want to do is help you out, get as much money as you possibly can right now. Super weird time. Everybody needs more money, and I hope this helps you. Like I said, subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out some of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Let me know down below in the comment section if I can do anything else to help you through this. If you have questions, I know it can be confusing. Either way, I'm here to help you out as much as I can. Enjoy your day. Take care. Have a good one, and I'll catch you again later.